former colleague here at Fox, Tim Green, went public with the fact that he's been diagnosed with ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease. Before I came into the studio, Tim and I announced games together for a couple of years here at Fox. And while he's known to the public as a former NFL player who's also a Rhodes Scholar finalist with a law degree and has written a number of best-selling books, when I think of Tim, I think of how dedicated he's always been to being a good husband and father. So it's no surprise that as he faces the fight of his life, it's become a family effort.
It's like you told me, go for it slowly. It's not a race to the end. You look like yourself, but you're somebody else. Only it ain't on the surface.
It was early 2016. My dad started having, kind of issues. He would always mention to me small things. He said, I'm talking and the sound in my head, the voice, the words in my head can't come out of my mouth fast enough.
So I remember when I got the phone call, I remember thinking, there's gotta be a mistake.
I don't care what they say the life expectancy is. Like, Dad's living forever, we're gonna do it, it's gonna be great.
You have to remember that his brain is 100% functioning. You have a person who's still as sharp as ever, who's in a way kind of trapped in a body that's not responding like it once did.
It was harder to really think about it. It was easier to kind of shut it out because the symptoms weren't as visible. It was easier to just pretend like nothing was happening, I think.
At first, your world drops. And then it kind of turned into all right, well, what's next? How do we beat this? What's our next step? Let's go.
Every Thanksgiving, we all sit around the table and I say to everybody, what are you thankful for?
So, guess I'll start.
Dad, you're a force that cannot be stopped.
With everything you've done, football, TV, writing, you've always made sure you were there for me and the rest of our family.
You always find a way to connect with me, even when you had a million other things to do in your busy, busy life.
You've taught me, most importantly, that if I can't change something that I don't like, then I better just change my attitude about it.
You've taught me what it means to be a man, and more importantly, you've taught me what it means to be a part of a family.
You and Mom have given me 3 brothers, yet you've never let me for a second believe that I am less strong, less fast, or less smart than any of them.
I've put your lessons into my daily life and can't wait to watch you teach all of these things and more to your grandchildren. So thanks, Dad. I love you so much.
Every day, I try to be a little bit more like you. Like you always say, I love you forever and infinity.
Dad, I love you forever and infinity. And no matter what happens, I know you love me too. Sorry.
I think the strength of a man can be measured by his humility and the love in the people closest to him. I may be here for 2 years or 20 years or 2 days. We don't know, but I know today I woke up and I thank God for the things I have. I saw the part of you that only when you're older you'll see too. You will see too.
Hopefully we don't all have to suffer a terrible diagnosis to find out we are loved as much as Tim is by his former colleagues here at Fox Sports and obviously his 5 children and his wife. I mentioned that 15 years ago he and I were broadcast partners. Those were the last 2 years that Tim worked here at Fox. But back in 1994, when he began his very first partner, was a 25-year-old kid named Joe Buck. Joe joins us now from Dallas. Joe.
I just love the man. I know you were talking directly to him on the other side of the camera you're staring into. I know I'm talking directly to Tim Green on the other side of the camera that I'm staring into right now. Yeah, we auditioned together back in 1994. I think we both lied on our applications. I had never done any football. He had never broadcast anything, and we kind of launched ourselves into this thing hand in hand, so to speak, and fought our way and figured our way through it. Back in 1994, I learned so much from Tim Green about how to be a dad, a young father in this business, about how to be a better husband as he is to Alyssa. You know, I know so many are afflicted with this horrible disease. I can tell those people who fight this disease that now that Tim has gone public with his diagnosis, they just got the best teammate that they could ever have in this fight. There is nothing this man has ever put his mind to that he has not accomplished, whether it's being an NFL player, it's being a lawyer, it's being an author, it's being a broadcaster. He's a wonderful human being, and we were all better for having known him here at Fox, and we're all better now knowing him with what he's battling up in the Skaneateles area in the Finger Lakes in upstate New York. Tim, I love you, buddy, and I and all of us are thinking about you. I would never bet against you. Go get him, man.
He is the perfect guy to be the face of this disease because he's always been curious. I can remember a conversation with him just about the word crepuscule. You know, and he's just curious about wondering what these words mean and turning them in. And this is just, as we talked about, just a terrible diagnosis for anybody to go through.
You know, I just want to give a shout out to a friend of mine that actually became a friend over the phone, and I'm going to see my good friend Robin and Harrison Anderson in Winston-Salem, North Carolina this Wednesday. So we're going to spend the day together, buddy, fighting ALS, tough disease. You're a tough man, so Tammy and I look forward to spending the day with you.
When you look at bottom line dollars, ALS is one of the most underfunded research causes all around. The Tim Green family is already doing something about it. In just a week since going public, they've raised more than $1 million on this website, and you can be a part of it. Just go to tackleals.com, donate whatever you can. All the proceeds will go to research to fight this crippling disease and for medical care to help families who cannot afford it on their own.